Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES. Let's get to the news now, folks. What if I told you that there's a potential shakeup brewing in the NFL, and it involves a player that could change the defensive landscape of the NFC East? That's right. It's not just about draft picks or offseason signings anymore. It's about strategic moves that could redefine team strengths and weaknesses. And in the middle of this, we've got a fascinating story involving the Miami Dolphins, one of the most intriguing teams in the league right now, and a player who might soon find himself wearing green and white. That's right, we're talking about Jaelan Phillips. Yes, the Dolphins, promising pass rusher who, according to recent reports, might be heading to the Philadelphia Eagles in a trade that could be a game changer. Now, the Dolphins, as many of you know, have been busy this offseason. They made the bold move to sign Matthew Judon, adding more firepower to their pass rush. Judon's arrival signals their intent to contend and bolster their defense. But interestingly, despite that upgrade, there's talk about the Dolphins possibly open to trading away Phillips. Why? Well, it all comes down to his contract situation. Phillips, a first-round pick in 2021, is now in the final year of his rookie deal. And over the past couple of seasons, his playing time has been somewhat limited. He's shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency and health have been issues. It's a common story for many young pass rushers trying to find their footing in the NFL, especially in a defense that's evolving and adding new pieces. What makes this situation more interesting is that Miami might be looking to turn assets into future draft capital. Trading Phillips could bring them some late-round picks, a move that could help them rebuild or bolster other positions. But the real question is, where could he go? Well, one team that's reportedly interested and could make sense for Phillips is the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Does the Eagles really need another linebacker? After all, between Nolan Smith Jr., Zach Bond, Aziz Ojulari, Joshua Uch, Jalix Hunt, and rookie Jihad Campbell, the linebacker core is pretty stacked, right? That's true, but you have to look deeper. The Eagles have a deep roster, but they always look for ways to upgrade, especially when it comes to pass rushers and linebackers who can disrupt the quarterback and help in coverage. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is already establishing himself as a key piece in their defense, but if there's an opportunity to add a player like Phillips, who's still young and has potential, it could be a move that makes sense, especially if they see him as a versatile piece that can add depth and explosiveness. But let's be honest, the Eagles are not one to make trades just for the sake of it. They're strategic, they're precise, and they want to improve their chances of going all the way. But here's where things get even more interesting. Despite the depth in the linebacker room, some NFL analysts and insiders believe that Phillips could be a valuable addition, especially if he finds the right fit in Philadelphia's aggressive defensive scheme. The Eagles' defensive coordinator, Sean Desai, loves aggressive edge rushers who can play multiple roles, from rushing the passer to dropping into coverage. Phillips, with his athleticism and pass rushing skills, could be a perfect fit, especially if he's motivated and healthy. Plus, considering that Phillips is entering the last year of his rookie deal, the Eagles might see him as a low-risk, potentially high-reward addition. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The NFC East is constantly evolving, and the Cowboys, Giants, and Commanders are all making moves to solidify their defenses. The Cowboys, for example, have been building a promising linebacker unit, adding Jack Sanborn and trading for Kenneth Murray Jr. But they still could use more depth. Sanborn is their starting middle linebacker, but he's still adjusting to a new team and a new system. Phillips could be a solid addition there, providing some pass-rushing punch and disrupting offenses from the middle or outside. Meanwhile, the Kansas City Chiefs, who already have a solid linebacker core with Nick Bolton and Joshua Uch, had brought Uch in last year but haven't quite found the perfect fit yet. Adding Phillips could be a smart move for them, especially considering their need for more explosiveness on defense. The Chiefs are always looking for ways to strengthen their roster, and Phillips's youth and upside make him an intriguing option. And then there's the New Orleans Saints, who lost Willie Gay Jr. and haven't really replaced him yet. They have a solid linebacker core, but there's a noticeable gap behind their starters. Phillips could be that missing piece, especially since the Saints have been aggressive in trying to fill holes through trades. The Panthers, too, are in a similar boat. They drafted some promising linebackers like Princely Umanmielen and Nick Scorton, but they've also released veteran players like Jadeveon Clowney and Josie Jewell, creating a need for experienced depth. Phillips could be a temporary veteran presence, someone who can step in immediately and contribute while the team develops its young talent. Now, back to the Eagles. Why would they consider trading for Phillips? Well, it's all about adding versatility and depth. The Eagles are known for their aggressive defense, and if Phillips can be integrated into their scheme, he could provide that extra pop off the edge or help in coverage situations. Plus, with the NFL being such a game of matchups and game plans, having a player with Phillips's athletic traits gives Jonathan Gannon and Sean Desai more flexibility to deploy their pass rush and coverage schemes effectively. But it's also worth noting that the Eagles are in a pretty good place defensively. They have a lot of talent and depth, but they're always looking for ways to get better. The trade deadline, the final days of the offseason, or even late training camp moves are all opportunities for teams to shake things up. A player like Phillips, especially if he's motivated and healthy, could be a steal for the Eagles. They've built a culture of developing young talent, and adding a player like Phillips could be a low-cost, high-reward move that pays dividends down the stretch. Now, what does this mean for Philadelphia's Super Bowl aspirations? Well, every piece counts in this league, and the Eagles know that. Their roster is packed with talent, from Jaelan at quarterback to their top-tier offensive line, and a defense that's aggressive and opportunistic. But adding someone like Phillips, especially if he's motivated to prove himself, could give them that extra edge they need to beat the toughest teams in the league, including their division rivals. And let's not forget, the NFC East is always competitive, filled with teams that are hungry to dethrone the reigning kings. Whether it's the Cowboys, Giants, or Commanders, the Eagles have shown resilience and strategic thinking in recent years, making smart trades and draft picks. This potential move for Phillips could be just another example of how they're always looking to stay ahead of the curve, always aiming for that elusive Super Bowl title. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you believe Phillips could be the missing piece in Philadelphia's defense? Or do you think the Eagles already have enough talent in their linebacker core? Would you like to see them make a move for a player with Phillips's upside? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news. Remember, this NFL offseason is packed with surprises, and the Eagles are always at the center of strategic moves that could shape the league's landscape for years to come. Whether it's a trade, a draft pick, or a signing, every decision is about building a team that's capable of competing at the highest level, and maybe, just maybe, bringing home another Super Bowl trophy. So keep your eyes open, stay passionate, and let's see how this story unfolds. The NFL never stops, and neither do we when it comes to bringing you the best coverage on the Philadelphia Eagles and all their latest moves. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.